Hey guys, I am starting Coeur de Force this week, so I thought I would kind of take you through what I'm doing to prep for it. This is kind of a completely imperfect and easy prep because we have a snowstorm here today, and I went to the grocery store and they literally didn't have anything that I needed, or so I kind of had to adjust on the fly, which is completely fine. So I got two rotisserie chickens, I got 18 eggs, I have some super lean ground beef, pineapple chunks and blueberries, two different kinds of Parmesan cheese. I have some ragu traditional tomato sauce, and ideally I would have made this myself or gone to a different store where they have the no sugar added, but they didn't have it at my store today. So I have my Greek yogurt, my flatbreads, some Brussels sprouts, kale, spaghetti squash, these are organic broccoli sprouts. Yeah, I wanted to get alfalfa sprouts, but again, they didn't have them. So I have asparagus, tomatoes, a couple of peppers, a couple of onions, and I think I said asparagus. Oh, I got cashew butter. Yum. Super excited for that. And this is where things got a little crazy because I couldn't get everything that I needed at this store. So I did buy this prepared barbecue sauce for the Coeur de Force pizzas that I'm making, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to be super picky. The amount that I'm going to be using isn't that much, and I'm not, going into it, pretending that I'm doing things perfect when I'm not. So as long as you have that in your head and you understand that, then I think, you're not doing yourself a disservice by lying to yourself and thinking that you're doing it, 100%. So when you don't get the results, I know that, I'm not going in perfect, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to do the best I can. So I got this dressing too to go with the it's what I'm using the radicchio for. The radicchio, broccoli sprouts, actually the alfalfa sprouts, red pepper, chicken, and then you dip them in the balsamic. So I'm making that. What else am I making? I'm making a meat sauce to have with my spaghetti squash. I'm gonna make some egg cups, and I'm probably gonna put some roasted Brussels sprouts and asparagus in those, and I also have some carrots in the refrigerator, so I'll use those. Again, I'm doing the barbecue chicken pizzas for lunches. Breakfasts will be the egg cups or fruit and yogurt. What else? Oh, and then I'll have my Shakeology with my cashew butter and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get things together and get my plan, and we'll be right back. Okay, so the first thing I'm actually going to work on is the chicken and radicchio wraps from the Coeur de Force meal plan. I'm going to use this rotisserie chicken that I actually bought yesterday, so I had it in the refrigerator. So I'm not going to do too much prep for this. I'm not going to actually assemble the wraps, but I'll have everything separated. So I'll chop the chicken, I'll go ahead and cut the peppers, and I'll also get the radicchio leaves ready so that I can just grab everything and throw it all together when it's time. So I'll assemble all this and get it packed away and show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so the reason why I wanted to prep these first is because this is what I'm going to eat for lunch. So I'm going to eat this and then actually finish prepping. But as you can see, it has the chicken in there, some of the broccoli sprouts, red peppers, and that's in both of them. And then I just have my balsamic dressing on the side. So I'm going to eat this and then I'll finish prepping the chickens and stuff like that. So there we go. All right, so I'm done with that. That literally took probably about 15 minutes, and that includes me, eating and prepping it all and cleaning up and all that stuff. So I have my sprouts, my chicken, and my peppers. My radicchio is all set to go, and I have my balsamic vinaigrette for that wrap. And then over here, I have my chicken and my onions, and then I have the barbecue sauce that I got, and my flatbreads. So there we go. These are lunches, and I'll actually probably have the barbecue flatbread pizza for dinner at least once too, depending on what my family eats. But yeah, there's that. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get my veggies roasting. I'm gonna roast my spaghetti squash for the meat sauce, and then I'm gonna roast these Brussels sprouts and asparagus for my egg cups, and I'm possibly going to make some couscous to have with this too. And you know what? I think I'll just go ahead and roast the other half of this onion as well, because I won't be using that for anything else. So I'll go ahead and get those prepped, and I'm going to preheat my oven to 400. All right, so veggies are pretty much prepped and ready for the oven. The only thing I'm going to do is go ahead and spray them with some coconut oil cooking spray. You can do, that's my oven preheated. You can do salt and pepper if you want, but again, let me just let that stop even. Again, I know that I'm not being perfect with the dressing and the barbecue sauce that I got, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to use salt on these, which I normally would do a little salt and pepper, but not this week because again, I couldn't get everything I needed for my dressing and my barbecue sauce. So I'm going to try and keep the salt low because I know I'm probably getting a little extra in there. So I'm going to go ahead and get these in the oven. I have the oven on 400. I'm not much for time. I usually just watch things, but I do know that these spaghetti squash are probably going to take about 50 minutes. So I'll be taking the Brussels sprouts and the asparagus and onions out a little bit before that, but I'll let you know how long they stay in. All right, so I just, I got my veggies in the oven, and now I'm going to, well, I've already started browning up this 90% lean ground beef, and while this is browning, I'm going to go ahead and chop up my onion and pepper so I can add it in. All right, the onions and peppers are added. I'm probably just going to let this do its thing for about 5 more minutes, and then I'll go ahead and get the tomato sauce added. All right, so the ground beef is brown, and the onions and peppers are like pretty much soft now. You can add, you know, salt and pepper, seasonings, garlic. Oh, that's getting all steamy now. But I'm just going to go ahead again and just go with the tomato sauce since I couldn't find my sugar, my no sugar added, and, you know, just everything else. I'm going to go without the salt again, but I'm going to go ahead and pour this in here, and then I'm just going to kind of stir it all together and let it simmer for a little while. Alright guys, so while my sauce is simmering, I'm going to work on my egg cups. I did just take the asparagus and onions out. Like I think that that was 20. These roasted for 20 minutes on 400. Brussels sprouts are still in there, and the spaghetti squash is still in there, but I don't want to kill these obviously because I want them to still be crispy and stuff. It just, I mean, it depends on crunchy. It depends on how you like it. So this is how I like mine. So some of these are going to have feta in them. Some of them are going to have Parmesan. I'm going to do some tomatoes and maybe some sauteed kale. I don't know. I'm going to figure that out. But I know I'm definitely going to use 12 eggs. So I'm going to go ahead and get my... Actually, I'm going to start with 6 eggs because I'll probably do 2 different variations. So I'm going to start with 6 eggs, and I'll come back and show you what I put in it. All right, so I went ahead and cracked 6 eggs into my bowl and beat them. And then on the side here, I have 2 blue containers of Parmesan cheese measured out in this container. And then I have 1 that is still in my blue container. That's because I'm going to set this one aside, and I'm going to go ahead and add this one in. So for each 2 egg cups that we're going to make, that 2 will equal 1 serving, and that will be 1 blue. You can certainly cut down the cheese if you want, and you know, make it so it's even like a quarter or a half a blue, or however you want to do it. But my husband's going to be eating these too, so I want to make sure that they're you know, cheesy because he likes them that way, and it will still only equal 1 blue per 2 egg cups. So yeah, let me get my green container so I can measure some veggies, and we'll get these made. Oh, and my coconut oil spray so I can spray the pan. Okay, Gavin just woke up, so I forgot to film one part, but I went ahead and filled this green container up with my asparagus and onion mixture, and I separated it into 6 of the egg cups. And now I'm going to go ahead and put my egg mixture that has my Parmesan cheese in it on top of each one, and then I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle the rest, the reserved container of blue Parmesan cheese on top. Alright, so I got my egg cups all set. I went ahead and poured the cheese and egg mixture on top, finished them off with the extra blue container of Parmesan cheese, and then just put a little asparagus for garnish. You know, I like to get fancy. So here I have 6 eggs cracked, ready to go. I have feta cheese for these ones this time, and so I have some tomatoes as well. So I have 1 container of blue for feta already measured out, but I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put one of these on the bottom of each one. And of course I sprayed with my coconut oil spray. So I have one on the bottom of each one. And then I'm going to put, I'm going to beat these eggs, put a blue of feta inside, and then pour them on top, and then we'll add some more feta and some more tomato. All right, so what I actually did was just do the egg. I literally, I don't know what it is, but now that I have 3 kids, I like can't even talk anymore. So I just beat the eggs and then put them on top of the tomato, and then I added the feta by hand so that each of them would get a, you know, an equal piece, an equal amount, I should say. And then I'm gonna go ahead and top them with another tomato. Do I have enough here? Yes, I do. And then I'll measure out another blue container of feta, and I will put that on top, and these will be ready for the oven. All right, my egg cups are ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these in the oven for probably about 20 minutes on 350, and the snow is coming. Wait, let me show you. Look how pretty the snow is, and look at my crazy little babies out there playing. Oh my God, my husband has the truck stuck. He's plowing the driveway. But yeah, this is what I have going on. I love being home and like being cozy and cooking, and yay! My kids are crazy though. Oh. All right, so my Brussels sprouts and spaghetti squash are out of the oven now. They both went for about 50 minutes. So I'm just gonna let this cool down. I have my meat sauce cooled here, well, cooling. And I'm just gonna figure out if I'm gonna make some quinoa or not. My house is getting crazy. See? Oh. Alright guys, so the quinoa is finished, and I just went ahead and mixed it with the roasted veggies. So I have 2 greens of roasted veggies and mixed in with 4 servings of quinoa. So I think the 4 servings on the package is actually 8 servings for the fix. So how I'll probably measure this out is to use my green container. I'll fill my green container and I'll count it for 1 yellow and 1 green. So yeah. But this is everything all ready to go. I have my Shakeology with my bananas for the freezer, my almond butter. Oh, actually I did cashew butter this month. I have all of my yogurts and fruit together. I have my meat sauce that I made. And here is the spaghetti squash I'm going to eat it with. Of course, I'm going to top that with some cheese. I have the stuff to make my lunches. One of the lunches I was doing is the barbecue chicken pizza, so that's everything that I need for that. Here's everything that I need for the radicchio wraps from Core de Force. And then I have egg muffins for breakfast. So yeah, this is what I threw together. It literally didn't take me barely any time at all, which is awesome. And yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, but is it going to get me results? Yes, definitely. So, you know, I'm not going to freak out about the barbecue sauce and the salad dressing not being homemade, because I think in the big scheme of things, that's not really that big of a deal. So yeah, this is my prep. I hope it helps you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.